I would like to suggest that perhaps the truth may not be as universal as we may believe, and that perhaps the system in which we exist does not behave in the ways that one may find logical. For instance, logically one would assume that there is a set of parameters or conditions which would represent the truth, some combination of the existence of facts with the observation of these facts together form one's interpretation of a fact-based reality or the truth. It would therefore lead to a better understanding of reality by uncovering as many facts, observing them, noting any connections, and forming patterns from this process as possible. This approach implies that having more knowledge leads to a better understanding. However, it would appear that in many areas of our existence, the more one observes, the less certain one becomes. The more one learns, the more one learns that there is more to learn. There is no bottom. I would like to suggest the possibility, and I know I am not the first to suggest, that so-called rabbit holes are simply distractions. Distractions from life, distractions from living, distractions from doing the maximum amount of experiencing right now. It seems to me that whatever one looks for, one finds. Whichever side of whichever position one chooses, there will be enough evidence to ensure that nearly anything, any belief, any opinion can be justified, and there is supporting evidence to back up both sides of insert your topic here. I would say at this point that any opinion formed using media from the current day is probably a faulty opinion. I would also recognize that it is possible that a supernatural retrocausality effect exists, wherein events from the future echo backwards towards what we perceive as the past, changing the past, and therefore the present, a la the Mandela effect. The idea of retrocausality has been expressed, in my opinion, by Matt from Quantum of Conscience. His channel is worth looking at. Again, that's Matt from Quantum of Conscience. It's the name of the channel, and I believe he has expressed this idea the best. Retrocausality, that things in the future affect things in the past, and therefore change the actual present. It's very interesting. Now, this is an interesting idea, and it has a place as a theory of possibility. The Mandela effect, when explained in proper polite society, is the faulty nature of human memory when pitted against the passage of time. Unlikely yet also possible would be the manipulation of the portrayal of past events in order to gaslight those who notice, yet with a non-supernatural method utilizing technology to simply alter history by altering the information. In my opinion, this could easily be achieved with access to the right databases, excluding physical media, which would have to be individually altered to reflect a change for any reason. Potentially, 3 separate levels of social engineering: supernatural, technological, or psychological. These could be combined in any combination and used to great effect. Have you experienced what is known as the Mandela effect? I have. Let's talk about it maybe. We'll put a tiny pin in it for now. Feel free to share your Mandela effect experience in the comments below. Now, as we observe the capabilities of technology to generate more and more seemingly lifelike characters in entertainment, the possibility of a character scene or event being outright simulated during presentation is also increasing. In terms of chasing rabbit holes is a waste of time, and all bets are off because technology can now imitate reality on the screen, I think that we are at the point where these things should be obvious. The rabbit holes have rabbit holes and they're rabbit holes. This is not to say that anyone's journey of truth-seeking is wasted. Realizing there is anything worth looking for at a deeper level is beautiful. Acknowledgement of the matrix is a critical first step to escaping said matrix. This is chapter 1 of a longer work. It is absolutely the first step in the process, and as such represents the beginning of something rather than any kind of finished product. It remains to be seen in which direction this will tend. I have some ideas. The intention here has simply been a brief introduction and extremely summarized explanation of where my point of view originates. I haven't written in so long that the gears are a bit rusty, and the first few miles are key to breaking out all back in. Thank you for coming this far. In my view, we all serve part of our Creator's plan in some way, often in spite of ourselves. Also, in my view, we can choose the attitude with which we approach life. An attitude of service and appreciation, how we face obstacles, will have more impact than we will ever know. Now, the following are some sentences I made up while brainstorming this. I guess we will call this an essay. It is probable that they will resemble some older sentences that other people also made up. I would encourage you to make up sentences about things for the enjoyment of yourself and for others as I have. Thank you for enjoying them with me. We best serve our fellow men by integrating the useful knowledge we find and focusing that knowledge into skills which will stand the test of time in the light of the truth. When you see the truth, then the world you decide to build is going to reflect that. A life built on lies and a house built on sand, both are built to fall. A very inconvenient truth is that the lies which support the world we live in are the same which will tear it down in the end. In conclusion, I would like to mention that it is a natural thing to notice patterns and to have questions. It is even appropriate to investigate and learn about a subject. Listen to what older people say with a big grain of salt. Take what is useful. It is to be encouraged. My grandfather used to say, "Class may be done, but school is always in session." He also used to say that if you can't eat it or wear it, you don't need it. He also used to say my third cousin was single, and she does have a kid, but she's good looking, and she's young enough to have more. So, like I said, take all of that with a big grain of salt. I haven't written in a while. It is unclear if I will lean more toward writing or off the cuff or full-on presentations of information. Undoubtedly, it will be a combination, probably with some musical elements as well. The songs don't come so quick, but something like this that I can control is a more regularly occurring option. It appears to have only taken approximately 4 days to have written this. At any rate, thank you all for your time and attention. Show the gratitude and appreciation that we so often neglect to give. It costs nothing, and the return may surprise you. Please feel free to mock and deride, as it is the hallmark of a weak mind to be unable to withstand such, in particular when making one's thoughts and positions public information. It is this condition above all others that holds one back, self-limitation because of a perceived weakness. This is best dealt with by facing these limitations and pushing beyond them. Truly, this has been written as much to push my own limitations as to encourage the same in the kindred soul. Thank you again. Have a nice day. That concludes the reading. I started my channel in 2007, so it's coming up on 20 years old, and I thought it was about time to put some thoughts out there and say something besides just a song. Anyways, thank y'all for watching.